I'm Aisling from Nile Agency, and today I'm going to walk you through a demo of HubSpot's Marketing Hub. So if you're new to HubSpot, to the Marketing Hub, or to inbound marketing in general, let's start with a little introduction. Firstly, HubSpot used the term hub to describe the different tools that are grouped together in order to achieve a particular goal or to help a particular area in your business. So the Marketing Hub has all of the tools that you'll need in order to create effective inbound marketing campaigns for all of the different stages of your buyer's journey. So at a high level, you can use Marketing Hub to attract traffic to your website, to nurture your contacts with personalized web and email content, and then manage relationships at scale using segmentation and automation. So we have the flywheel here, and we have the different stages of the buyer's journey: attract, engage, and delight. So as part of the inbound methodology, let's think about how we could use the Marketing Hub tools at each of these different stages. So in the attract phase, we're really looking at attracting the right audience to your website and to your content. Then in the engage stage, it's about how do you engage with your visitors and convert more leads by giving them content that's very much tailored to them and to their challenges. And then at the delight stage, how can you use smart content, automation, conversations to really delight your leads, prospects, and customers? So in our demo today, we're going to look at some of the key tools in the Marketing Hub that typically our customers are most excited about, or that will provide the most value for you and for your customers and leads. It's quite a complete suite of tools, so we won't go through everything because we'd be here until next week. But I'll give you a high level of some of the ones that I think are most interesting, and then you can feel free to get in touch with us if you want to maybe look at some use cases a bit more particular to your business and your needs. So the first thing I should say is that while the HubSpot Marketing Hub is available as a set of standalone tools, and we will be looking at those tools today, I think the real power in the Marketing Hub lies in its opportunity to align your marketing teams, your sales teams, your operation teams, and really use the HubSpot CRM as your sort of single source of truth. And I think that's what the real power of the platform represents. That's not to say that you can't use the HubSpot marketing tools if you're already using another CRM out there today. HubSpot has a really good native integration with Salesforce, so we have lots of customers with their sales team maybe in Salesforce CRM and marketing using the Marketing Hub, and it works really well. We also have some customers, especially in industry, that might be using other CRMs or that are in Dynamics, for example, and there are definitely integration possibilities available. So don't let that stop you, but just think about the fact that the power lies in aligning your teams and really integrating your data so that your data is flowing between your systems. So when you're in HubSpot and you come onto a contact record, here we have all of the information stored about this contact. So we have on the left-hand side all of the information, maybe like the last name, the first name, the email address, the last date when we contacted this person. We have their life cycle stage. So are they a lead, a customer, an opportunity? And then we have all of the interactions and activities that have happened with this contact. So have they been contacted by our sales team? Have they received marketing emails? Have they downloaded an ebook? Have they participated in an event? We should see all of this here. And then we can basically use this information to segment our database and to build lists, which can allow you to then kind of create targeted campaigns and content that is very segmented and particular to that list. So when you come across to the lists tool here, you can see all of your existing lists, and then you can create a new list. So you can base your lists of contacts or company features. Just give it a name, and you can create different types of lists. So you can create an active list, which is typically quite interesting if you want to build maybe lead nurturing campaigns, or you want your list to update automatically over time. So as soon as someone meets the conditions or the criteria for our list, they'll be added to it, versus a static list, which is going to look at who fits in the list criteria today, and that's the list of people that I will have in my list. It won't change. So typically a static list, it might be the list of people that we met at a trade show. That's not going to change over time. The trade show has happened. I have the list. That's a good example of a static list, versus an active list. Maybe it's my newsletter subscribers. That's going to evolve over time as new people sign up to my newsletter. I want them to be added to my list so that they can receive the next version of my newsletter. So that's where an active list would work. If we just come across to the next step, what I really want to focus on here is the segmentation possibilities that are available in HubSpot. So we can use any contact properties as criteria for our list. So whether it's the life cycle stage, the sector that someone's in, their job profile, their persona, any of that. We can also use any information we have on companies. So that might be the size of the company, the number of employees, or it can be based on kind of previous interactions or activity with the contact. So for example, have they filled out a form on our website? Have they opened some of our previous marketing emails? Have they interacted with our ads or clicked on our call to action? Or you also have the possibility to integrate with other systems. So we have Eventbrite integrated with our HubSpot marketing, and that way we can also use our Eventbrite information, like our lists of people that attended a webinar, to build our lists in HubSpot. So really a lot of possibilities in terms of segmenting your database and using HubSpot lists to create very tailored content thereafter. So once you've segmented your database and begun building your lists, you're probably going to want to start implementing your marketing strategy and creating your marketing campaigns. So before you jump in and start building everything, I want to show you the campaigns tool in HubSpot. So the campaigns tool, I think it's quite an underrated tool and probably not used by that many people, but I think it's highly valuable to marketers in order for you to be able to measure the effectiveness of your campaigns and really be able to see which campaigns are performing better than others. So the idea is that in here, you can create a campaign dedicated for each campaign that you're launching. And then you can associate all of the different assets and marketing actions with that campaign. So maybe you have a campaign running for a trade show that you're doing, and you're going to be doing some promotion kind of before and after the trade show, or you have a webinar coming up, and you're going to plan lots of different social media posts, blog articles, emails that are all kind of linked to this one campaign. You can come in here, associate all of those assets with your campaign, and that way you'll be able to see what was the overall performance and how are the different assets contributing to the campaign performance. So let's just take a look at an example campaign I have here. So firstly, I've created the campaign. But I haven't yet set a goal for my campaign. So if I come in here, I can edit my goals. And basically, depending on what is your objective for your campaign, you can put in your goals here. So I really like doing this because I think it helps you to actually measure the performance. If you say, okay, the goal of our campaign is to get 20 new contacts, for example, and to get 500 web sessions. As you're adding your assets and your campaign actions are taking place, you'll be able to see how you're tracking in terms of your goal. So then when you come across here, you can add your assets, so blog posts, social media posts, ads that you're running. Any of those can basically be added into your campaign here. So you can either add existing assets if you come across here. For example, maybe you have an ad campaign running, you can come in and find the ad campaign, or maybe I have some landing pages where people can sign up for the webinar, for example. I can just add them in here. But then as you're creating new elements, you'll always be able to add them to the campaign as you're going along. So if we think about we're running a campaign, we're developing our content, we're probably going to want to create some blog articles kind of related to that campaign. So let's come across to the blogging tool in HubSpot here. And so with the Marketing Hub, you always have the option to create your blog and host your blog with HubSpot. So within HubSpot, you can create multiple blogs if you want. So that might be interesting if you have different business units or if you're working in various countries. And so maybe you want to have like a French blog and then an English blog. You can manage all of that from HubSpot. It's very marketer friendly, I would say, because ultimately you create your blog kind of template. So you can either download a template from the marketplace or a theme from the marketplace in HubSpot, or if you have a developer, they can set that up for you. And then as a marketer, I can just, if I have a new blog article to write, I can just come in here, create my new blog post, confirm which blog and which language I want it to be in. And then it'll use my existing blog post template in order to give me something to start with. And then I can basically just come in here and write my content. So a piece that I think is very powerful in HubSpot's blogging tool is this Optimize tab here. So once you've written your blog post, before you put it online, you want to make sure that it's optimized for your strategic keywords. And from a technical SEO point of view, it's all optimized for search engines. So HubSpot gives you a very easy to use tool here to basically, first of all, check the kind of technical SEO aspects of your blog post to see if we meet the minimum requirements in terms of word count, if we're missing, a H1, a title, a meta description. It just gives you a sort of checklist here, and you can check, have you got everything ticked off? And you also have this option here to basically tie your blog post into a larger topic cluster strategy. So rather than just creating individual blog posts, you can sort of think of each blog post in terms of your overall content strategy and the kind of key topics that you're trying to be known as an expert in. So for us at Neil, for example, one of our key topics would be account-based marketing. So I want to tie my blog post into this larger topic. Yes, this is supporting content. And then basically I'm going to choose here the kind of subtopic keyword that I'm trying to target with this blog post. So it might be social selling, for example. I attach this to my topic, and then we can see that HubSpot is basically giving me some suggestions based on my keyword, and it's going to see, is my content, mentioning my keyword enough? Is it relevant? Are there other words that I should be thinking about putting into my blog post as well? So really nice, easy to use tool to make sure that we're writing blog posts that will help us from an SEO point of view. And then staying on the sort of SEO thread, if I come across to SEO, I think HubSpot's moved it. If I come across to HubSpot's dedicated SEO tool here, what we have are the topics that we just saw in our blog post. So let me find my account-based marketing topic. And basically here, what I have is my content tree for this core topic. So the core topic is account-based marketing. What are all the relevant subtopic keywords that we want to target to show that we're really an expert in this area? And then I can say, okay, for social selling, for example, here's my blog post that I have attached to my pillar page. And this is basically allowing you to develop your kind of topic cluster pillar page strategy and link all of your different content between one another to show Google as well as visitors that you have lots of supporting content. If someone's interested in this article, they may also be interested in another article on the topic. So I think this is really nice. And then the other area that is nice for SEO here is just if you put in your website into HubSpot, it'll scan your website and basically give you some sort of technical SEO recommendations. So these are tools that you can find outside of HubSpot, but I think the advantage is just, coming back to that idea of keeping everything in one place. As a marketer, I can come in here and I can sort of see everything that's going on. If there are recommendations from HubSpot in terms of things that I should be improving, I can get in touch with my IT team or my developers if it's, some of the more technical stuff, or maybe it's pages that just need a new meta description, or that are missing a title tag, for example. And those are things that I have control over myself. So I think the SEO tool in HubSpot is quite powerful in its simplicity. Sometimes SEO can be quite an overwhelming subject if you're not already an expert in the matter. So I think HubSpot is a great starting place. It gives you a lot of tips and kind of makes it easy to implement without being overwhelmed. So once you've attracted the right visitors to your website, you're going to want to think about how can you best engage with them, and how can you convert those visitors into leads. So HubSpot has a whole host of tools designed around this sort of engagement and conversion piece. So we'll take a look at a couple of them here. I think the first one, when we think about conversion, we're often talking about some sort of a form. So where someone will fill out maybe their email address or some information in exchange for access to a piece of content, or in order to book a demo or book a call with someone in your sales team. So HubSpot has a dedicated forms builder here. And we can see there are different types of forms that we can build with HubSpot. So if we're thinking of sort of classic conversion tunnels, where maybe someone arrives on your website onto a blog article, they are reading the content and they want to go further, they'll click on a button which will bring them to a landing page where they can download a specific content offer. And typically on that landing page, we'll have a form integrated into it. So that would be one type of form you can build. You can also build what are called lead flows or pop-up forms in HubSpot, and they can be really useful. Maybe it's for newsletter signups, or to download a brochure for as one of your products. And they can be useful where it's maybe on a page you don't necessarily want to navigate the visitor away from the page, but you would like to offer them a relevant piece of content or a relevant call to action directly on that page. Once you've built your forms, you'll then also want to think about call to action. So call to action are basically buttons which you will want someone to click on. So somewhere on your website, or maybe in an email, a blog post, anything like that. And it's trying to get someone to click on that button to typically bring them to a landing page or a book a meeting page or something like that. So we can just create a call to action here. So you can see it's really easy. If you want to change your colors, you can put in your kind of company colors in here to get the button that matches your branding. You can change the style. You just put in whatever your text you want it to be. And then if you want to, you can get into kind of the custom options as well. We can either create a custom button, or you can bring in an image directly. So maybe you've built a call to action somewhere else, like in Canva or something, and you just want to use it in your HubSpot content. So you can upload the image directly from here, or just add the image in here. So for example, maybe this is my call to action. And then I can say, okay, where do I want my call to action or the button to send someone? So we'll always give it a name. It can either be to an external website page, which I think is a good point. If your whole website is not hosted in HubSpot, you can absolutely use HubSpot call to actions kind of with your WordPress or external website and send people to a particular page on your website. Could be to a HubSpot page. So if you've built a landing page, that would be a common place to send someone, or a blog post. It could also be to a meeting link. So maybe to like a sales reps meeting link where someone can see their availability and book directly, to download a file, or, with an email address and phone number. So you have lots of different options. And what we see here is that you can just add my call to action to my campaign that we looked at earlier. And then once you do that, you'll be able to embed your call to action wherever you want on either your HubSpot content or on your external content. You can always just use the embed code and then integrate your CTA into your external website as well. So once you've kind of built all of your conversion pieces, you'll then be able to come across to the landing pages tool and build your landing page directly in HubSpot. So we'll create a new landing page just so you can see what it looks like. So you'll be building off of a theme in HubSpot. So either a custom theme, something that's been created for you by your web designer, something that you've downloaded from the HubSpot marketplace or that you've purchased. You can choose your theme here, and then you'll be using that theme to create your landing page. So what that allows you to do is kind of say, well, all of my landing pages are going to be using a particular theme. I can customize the kind of colors and logos and all of that, but I have quite a consistent look across my different pages. So then here, for example, I'm going to use the landing page template that they have here. So this is sort of giving me something to start with. I can then see if I want to, edit different pieces. I can come in here, change the image, change the text. If I want to add new elements in, for example, I want to maybe put in a logo or something, I can drag that down here, for example. And then I'll just be able to come across here and put in like the logos of our partners or whatever I might want to do. I can then choose the form that I've already created in HubSpot, the relevant form for my campaign, and just add that in here. So I think it's important to recognize that when we're thinking about engagement, it's not just about form conversions. So another really powerful tool in HubSpot is the conversations inbox, and specifically the Chatflows tool. So basically here in the Chatflows tool, we could build either a live chat or a chat bot for us to be able to engage with our website visitors and give them like another way to engage with us and to either get in contact with us or to find what they're looking for on our website. So let's create an example here. So we're going to build a chat for our website, and you have two options. So like I said, you can have a live chat if you have someone that's going to be able to be dedicated and look after any incoming chats, or you can build a chat bot. So I think a chat bot is a really good solution for quite a lot of companies today who maybe don't have someone that's going to be available full time to make sure that we're answering those questions from our visitors right away. I think it's very important if we have a chat available on the website that we're giving people a good customer experience. And so there's nothing worse than having a chat and no one answering when we try and ask a question. In that case, we're much better off having a bot, and that way we can give people help, give them an option to get in contact with us without having to have a resource available on our team. So there's a couple of different nice examples from HubSpot already. We could have a lead qualification bot or a meetings bot, a bot for kind of customer service to create tickets, loads of nice options. We'll take a look at the meetings bot here. So here you can imagine this, you might want to put it on some more kind of decisional pages of your website, like the pricing page or a product page, or some kind of pages where people might actually want to talk to a sales rep and might be ready to talk to a sales rep. So in that case, rather than having them fill out a contact us form, we could give them access directly to the sales rep's calendar so they can book a time that suits them to have a discussion with that person. So you'll just need to come in here and choose whose meeting link it is. So the meeting link will be set up and connected with your Office or Google Calendar. And so depending on your availabilities and how you've configured it, they'll see when you're available for a meeting. And then here we can collect the information that we need from that person before we give them that sales rep's meeting link. So that might be, their name, their email address, their telephone, and then we would send them the link for booking that meeting with the sales rep. So the last couple of tools I want to show you today are kind of centered around the idea of offering a delightful customer experience to your leads, prospects, customers, and how you can use HubSpot to nurture your leads and customers. So two tools that are kind of very relevant. The first one is the email tool in HubSpot. So here you can create both regular emails. So when we say regular emails, that might be for your newsletter. It might be to send targeted emails to specific lists of contacts. And it can also be automated emails. So automated emails would be if you want to build like a drip marketing campaign or a lead nurturing campaign using automation in HubSpot, using the workflows tool, you would build your emails in here first. So we'll use HubSpot's drag and drop editor, for example. Maybe it's going to be for when someone fills out a form to sign up to your newsletter or something. You might want to send them first a welcome email. So you can come in here and basically create your email. You can edit the text, you can add in buttons. We created a call to action earlier, so maybe you want to add that call to action right into your email as well. So you can just come in here, CTA, and select the CTA that we're interested in and add my call to action directly into my email to bring them to that landing page that I created earlier. You can add in images, you can add in social buttons, anything like that. And once again, we have that option to add our email to our campaign so that we're tying all of our assets together. Then when it's an automated email, you're going to basically save it for automation, and then you'll be able to use that email in your workflow that you're building out for marketing automation. So if we're thinking of like a welcome sequence, maybe you'd have a first welcome email just giving them some information, some content, and then you might want to create another email that's sent 3 or 4 days later, a week later, kind of bringing that person through the nurturing channel. Come across to the workflows tool here. This is the automation tool in HubSpot. So let's come in to the workflows tool. What is really nice about HubSpot in general is that they're very good for giving you kind of templates to help you get started or to think about what are the different possibilities to give you some inspiration. So we have some nurturing workflows here, which are quite relevant to marketers. So the first one might be to nurture first conversion. So the first time someone comes onto the website, they fill out a form, and maybe we'll send them that welcome email, and we want to have a sort of welcome sequence that goes out, encouraging them to download other pieces of content or to move them along in their buyer's journey. Some other nice ones might be just simply to attribute new web leads to the right owner in HubSpot. So again, thinking of that idea of like aligning your marketing and sales teams, maybe based on our form information, we already know if someone's in a particular sector or a particular code, postal code, we can assign that to the rep and send that rep a notification right away. It could also be to welcome new blog subscribers, new contacts, to re-engage cold leads in your database. So maybe we have a list of leads that we need to sort of wake up that haven't engaged with us for a long time. All of these are really good examples of how we could set up some marketing automation in HubSpot. We can also start from scratch. So we can start our new contact-based workflow from scratch. And what you will have to do is first set up the trigger for your workflow. So if you come in here, you'll see it's the same kind of criteria as we had in our list criteria earlier. So it can be any contact properties. It could be that someone is a member of a particular list, that they filled out a form, that they interacted with our ads, anything like that. And then you will think about, okay, what are the actions for my workflow? So first I want to send a marketing email. And then perhaps I want to have a delay of a certain amount of time. And then I can also think about, okay, should I incorporate any kind of conditional logic into my workflow? If someone opened my first email, if they interacted with something in my first email, maybe I want to send them a different email than for someone who didn't open that first email. So these are all things you can think about using the Workflows tool in HubSpot to really build out a nurturing strategy to help you move your leads along until they're ready to talk to your sales team and to become your customers. So let's move on to the final piece in today's Marketing Hub demo. Once you've put in place all of your different marketing actions, you've looked at how are you going to attract, engage, and delight your leads and customers, you're going to need to be able to report on your actions, to be able to measure your performance, prove your ROI, and see if there are areas to improve. So there are different ways to report in HubSpot on the marketing piece. You can go into each of the individual tools that we already looked at. There's always a sort of analyze tool where you can see the performance in that individual tool. But we also have in the analytics tools section here, we have reports that are sort of regrouping different areas to be able to give you a more comprehensive view. So if we come into the traffic analytics section, for example, here we can look at based on the timeline that interests us. So whether that's the last year, the last 30 days, the last 90 days, whatever that might be, we can look at where is our web traffic coming from. So here, for example, I can see my traffic is coming from organic search, a little bit from referral, a lot from direct traffic. If I have, this is a demo portal here, so maybe we don't have everything, but if you have traffic that's coming from paid advertising, paid social, organic social, you're going to see all of that here. And you can also look at this, okay, you can look at it in terms of sessions, but maybe we can also look at it in terms of context. So I actually want to see where are my contacts coming from? So maybe organic social is the channel that's bringing the most traffic, but organic search is where my contacts are converting from. And so this sort of information can be really useful for us when we're thinking about our strategy going forward. We can then come across to the reports dashboards tool here, where you can build out different dashboards to show different kind of objectives on each dashboard. So this is my lead generation dashboard. I have reports on the number of contacts that were created in the last 90 days. Where are my contacts coming from? Where are my MQLs coming from? So basically I can build out different dashboards. So maybe I'll have one for my lead generation, another one for web analytics, another one for account-based marketing, and then you can customize what reports you want to see on each dashboard. So from here, if I want to add a new report to my dashboard, I can either go to the reports library in HubSpot where we have lots of pre-built reports. So if I'm interested in looking at the performance of my blogs, I can see what reports are already existing, like which blog posts are getting the most CTA clicks on them, or are getting the most views, that sort of thing. And then I can save the report and add it to my dashboard. I can also create custom reports. So here, there's different types of custom reports you can build. You can build with the custom report builder here, you can build cross objects reports. So you can take data from contacts, companies, and ads, for example, or from contacts and landing pages and kind of cross that data to build out your report. You can also build attribution reports in HubSpot, which can be really interesting if you want to look at where are contacts coming from, like what content is being used and what sources are being used in order for someone to convert from a lead to a contact. You can also look at maybe what sources, assets, campaigns had the most impact on deal generation or on revenue generation. So huge amount of possibilities here. These attribution reports, I think, are primarily for the enterprise level subscriptions of HubSpot. So depending on your subscription level, you may not have access to all of these reports, but definitely really exciting in HubSpot to be able to use all of these different reports to kind of show the performance of our marketing activity. So the reporting piece in HubSpot, I think really comes back to that point I made at the start, where you get the most out of HubSpot if you use as many of the tools as possible. So, using as many of the tools in the Marketing Hub and also combining those tools with the CRM and the other hubs, you'll be able to get that full vision of the fun of the flywheel and all of the stages of the buyer's journey, and you can use all of that information to kind of build a 360 view and reporting. So whether that's using everything within HubSpot or looking at what are the integration possibilities available to you, there are definitely solutions out there. But I think in today's industry, we really want data to be flowing and for you to have that kind of full 360 view. So I hope today has given you a good overview of the marketing tools. Like I said, it was kind of a general view of the tools that are most interesting to the most people, but definitely get in touch with us if you'd like to know more. We can look at your unique case, your integrations, maybe your tech setup today, and we'll be happy to build a more personalized demo for you. Thanks. Bye.